Hey everyone, it's Karen. I am back because I have broken up with Amazon, or at least I've taken another step in breaking up with Amazon, and I want to tell you about it. The camera angle is weird because my tripod is at work, but anyway, we have my cat Lyra over here, and I don't know if you can see Amelia. She's up there hanging out. So basically, to kind of update you, I already have broken up with Amazon Prime, and my next step is to stop buying books on Amazon. Now I have a few, I would say 2 or 3 books that are going to be coming to me that are pre-ordered, but besides that, I've just made my last Amazon book purchase ever. I'm gonna try not to use it. I still will use Amazon for other purchases. I'm just trying to take this in baby steps about breaking up with them. But how hard is it that I have to take baby steps, and how much more difficult will it be in the future if I don't do this now? Like, they are taking over the world. It is crazy. But I got some cozy fall books for my last purchase, and I want to show you basically those books plus any other new book that I've acquired since moving into this new apartment a couple weeks ago. So let's get the books. All right, you guys, so this bookshelf behind me is in my dining room, and it is basically going to be the books that are most recently acquired, so kind of separate from my TBR cart. But to start with the books that were up here, the fiction, and in alphabetical order, the first one is Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. I think this sounds just absolutely magical. Then I got Kindred. Now I do have some book outlet books on the way, and among them is the graphic novel for Kindred, and also a graphic novel, I think, for Parable of the Sower, along with the actual regular copy of that as well. So Kindred by Octavia Butler. I'm like the last person on earth to read this. Basically, it is about a girl who like kind of goes in like back in time and then back to the future, back in time, all that, I think, back into slavery time. So that's that. And then I started watching videos where like booktubers whom I love, were talking about some of their favorite books. And one is Helene Jeppesen, I don't know, Helene. She does not make videos anymore, but the woman, I love her so freaking much. And she raved about A Ladder to the Sky in one of her videos from a few years ago when she was making videos. So I'm going to be reading this by John Boyne. I also have a cupboard full of coats by Yvette Edwards, and this is the book for October for Dee Dee's brown girl reading. What does she call it? I don't know what she calls it, but basically it's like Black History Month in the UK, and so we are reading this book together, so we need to get to that. I love this cover so much. I don't like that it's glossy, but besides that, the cover is beautiful. Then I got The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I have owned this book before and I have unhauled it, but I just feel like it would be so cozy and good for the winter. And also, I know that in this book, the woman mentions loads and loads of movies, and I kind of want to like read the book, but also like every night while I'm reading the book, watch one of the movies that she mentions. So we'll see about that. I don't have a TV in my living room now because I don't feel like it fits space-wise. So I have my computer that I could move and watch videos on, or I could go to my bedroom, lie in bed, and watch movies. So I don't know. Okay, then I got The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I feel like that winter time is a perfect time to read a beast like this. I've heard a lot of people rave about it. Particularly, I noticed that it was on Lauren Mckeown's channel. I can't say her name, but her name is beautiful, and she is beautiful, and I freaking adore her as well. I will link her channel below because you should definitely watch her. She is a French booktuber who is living in Amsterdam? I don't really remember where she lives, but I know that she moved there as a kid, so she speaks like a trillion languages. yeah, this is about some people building a cathedral, and everyone loves it. It was also an Oprah book. Yeah, so we'll see what that's about and spend the winter reading about people building a cathedral. And then back again, I'm going to try again to read Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Anyway, yeah, everyone already knows about this book. Then this was my book that came for the, oh gosh, what is it called? Page One book subscription. It's called Half Dead. And basically it says the car accident took his wife and nearly killed him too. But Calvert Green's problems are just the beginning. He was a respected Russian literature scholar in Chicago, but due to severe head trauma, he's now suffering from Cotard's disease, a real psychological condition that makes him believe he's dead. He also lost so much of his memory, including the academic knowledge that defined his life. So I got this from Page One, like I said. I did not realize until right now that it's signed. So that makes it so much more amazing. It's also blurbed by Audrey Niffenegger. I'm so horrible with last names. She is a Chicago author that I adore. So yeah, this actually sounds really good, and I think I might move it to the top of my list. Then I got a signed book from Parnassus through the first edition book club, and that is Lauren Graf's Matrix. I don't know what this is about either. I feel like someone said it was about a nun. I think I'm just going to go into it blind, but this one is also signed. Then I got Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman because I have heard, who was it that talked about it? I think Angie from Science Mama might have said that she has read these books. Someone was talking about it, and I feel like it was her. But anyway, I want to start at the beginning and read the whole bunch of them. I think there are 4, or the 4th one's coming out soon. So I thought that would be super cozy to read kind of fall winter time. And then John Irving's The World According to Garp, which was also raved about by Helene. So I'm going to move to the second shelf now, which is the rest of the fiction books. All right, so back in alphabetical order, we have the new one by Stephen Graham Jones. This is My Heart is a Chainsaw. No idea what it's about. I know it's horror, probably, and I'm just going to go into it blind because I feel like that's the best choice. Then I have been I've been avoiding it and kind of dreading this one for so long, but so many people have raved about it that I feel like I need to give it a chance. It's Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. And I have been avoiding this one because I'm not the biggest fan of like family saga sort of stories. But I'm going to give this a try. I feel like it could be one that I absolutely fall in love with and that sticks with me. So we will see. Then I heard about this one from a homeschool mama that I have been following. I will link her below as well. She is basically like her faith is really important to her, so she reads a lot of Christian fiction, which I have never tried just because the whole genre gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I feel like we should not separate what is Christian from what is not Christian, if that makes any sense. Like, your faith should be part of who you are, and it should come out in your books, and it should not have to have a certain label. And I think that the whole Christian genre, the Christian fiction genre, just kind of limits people into thinking like if you're a Christian you have to only read that. I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't really know. Maybe there are other perspectives on why there is Christian fiction and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, that's not my jam. Anyway, she talked about this book, which hopefully is not Christian fiction, but if it is, maybe I will read one and love it. Who knows? On the Cliffs of Foxglove Manor. This is in 1885. Adria Fontaine has been sent away from her home to recover goods her malevolent father pirated on the Great Lakes, that's by my house, during the Civil War. Hoping to find freedom away from her father, Adria arrives at Foxglove Manor, a stone house on a cliff overlooking Lake Superior, which is where I went this summer, but senses only wickedness hovering over the property. The mistress of Foxglove is an eccentric and seemingly cruel old woman who has filled her house with dangerous secrets, one that might cost Adria her life. All right, so, oh gosh, this is Christian fiction. I just looked, and it's Bethany House, which is a division of Baker Publishing Group, which I think is actually like in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But I do think it sounds good. It's romantic suspense, and I will give it a shot. I suppose if it is Christian fiction, then there's no fun times in it, but maybe they hold hands. I don't know. Okay, then I got the new Colson Whitehead Harlem Shuffle. This one's not signed, but I have met him, so I'm allowed to put it on my signed bookshelf as soon as I finish reading it. Then I got Hail Mary because everyone was raving about this. Now I feel like this could be the type of like science fiction that I would enjoy, and I really want to go back and read his other ones as well because, yeah, I'm just really interested in space. I think it's fascinating and mind-blowing and like inconceivable, everything that we know about space. And also maybe about how space is mirrored in our bodies, or our bodies mirror space. Like, they was talking about that a bit in Bill Bryson's book about the body, about like, I think that was the book that I was reading when I heard this, just like the space between our atoms and stuff, and how we have like galaxies and like all sorts of things within our body. Like, I don't know, I just think this whole idea of like zooming in and zooming out to things and finding like the similarities between like the human body and nature and all that sort of stuff is super fascinating. So random, but I'm excited to read Hail Mary. And then finally, this one's going to break me, My Absolute Darling by Gabriel Talent. I heard Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading rave about this one, and I feel like this is going to be a tough read, but very, very valuable. So those are all my fiction. Stay tuned. I will get to nonfiction. All right, so now nonfiction in reverse alphabetical order, because that's the way I pulled them off my shelf. I have Beautiful Country by Jean-Julie Wang, which is a memoir, and I believe it takes place in China. Let's see, what does it say? What does it say? In Chinese, the word for American, mei gu, translates directly to beautiful country. Oh, in Chinese, the word for America, mei gu, translates directly into beautiful country. Yet when 7-year-old Jian arrives in New York City in 1994, full of curiosity, she is overwhelmed by crushing fear and scarcity. In China, Jian's, I don't know how to say that. I need to look it up how to say Qian. Parents were professors. In America, her family is illegal, and it will require all the determination and small joys they can muster to survive. I think that is so fascinating. And that one, actually, just reading that brought it up to the top of my list as well, because I know someone else who worked as a parapro at a school that I taught at, and I can't remember where she was from, but she was from another country, and in her country, in her home country, she was an attorney. And then she comes to America and she's working as a parapro in my classroom, which I feel like there should not be this hierarchy of jobs about which are more valuable or more prestigious than others, because I think this pandemic has taught us how valuable our workers are and people that do hard labor. But to make that switch from a parapro in a classroom and, you know, coming from an attorney, it's just such a huge pay decrease, status decrease. And the woman was so talented and knew so many languages. Like, she spoke like French for sure, French and English for sure, but then she also spoke like other like smaller languages that not a lot of people speak. So it was just so amazing to get to know her and to hear about her story and all sorts of things. And I just feel like people just view illegals or immigrants in a certain kind of way that we should not be, because they have so much to offer. Then I got Traumatized by Katie Morton. She is a social worker, I think. LMFT, I don't know what that stands for, so I guess she's not a social worker, but she's a mental health sort of person that is on YouTube, and I really enjoy watching her videos. So this one is about trauma, and I believe it's about how a lot of people have trauma and they don't really realize it because it's not like they were in a car accident or they went to war or something very, very horrible. It's smaller things too. And I think she tries to draw attention to that and then help us cope, as what the cover says. I'm super interested in this one. This is Essentialism by Mckeown. Again, I never learned phonics, you guys. This is about, I think, about not just always trying to improve yourself with all these little things, but kind of figuring out what is essential, what is most important to you to do every day, and how those sort of choices can build who you are as a person. I think that's what it's about. Then Every Fallen Star, which is a memoir of someone who lived in North Korea. The Sirens of Mars, which is by Sarah Stewart Johnson and is about basically Mars. Like, I think she is a scientist who studies Mars. And then Small Fry, which is a memoir of Steve Jobs' daughter and her childhood, I believe. John Green, The Anthropocene Reviewed. I met him, so this can also go on my signed bookshelf, although this copy is signed, so obviously it would go there. This is a bunch of essays of his, and I feel like I find him more interesting as like a YouTuber than actually reading his fiction. I'm not the intended audience. I don't really like them that much. The Fault in Our Stars was like probably the best one I've read, but they're just not for me. I'm not a YA person, you know what I mean? But I do think this will be so amazing because he's like the wisest person I've ever met. And then finally, I feel like this book is so important. Robin DiAngelo's Nice Racism, which is basically about people like me who are liberal and think they're anti-racist and like maybe they have a whole shit ton of work to do. So yeah, that's that. So that is me breaking up with Amazon, or attempting to. I will not purchase books from Amazon anymore. Hey everyone, I'm back. I just went to lunch with my mom really quickly, and then afterwards I had to use the restroom, and so I went there, and it was the coolest bathroom I've ever seen in my entire life. You like go into the stall and there's all these portraits of famous, influential women, most of them minorities, and yeah, it was just amazing. And then they have like all these little like flyers on them that you can bring home with you and read more about them and learn more. And there's also like a little basket where you can put your phone while you're peeing. So I thought that was amazing. But when I arrived home, my book outlet package did come. So one last haul on this video, and then we can carry on. So yeah, then I'll cool it for a while. But let's see what I got. I got In Praise of Walking. Sorry, there's a weird light coming in. By Shane O'Mara, which is a scientific exploration of walking. You totally, the sun is so weird, but I love the sun, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. Yeah, I've been walking a lot, and I just think that it would be interesting to find out more about walking and all the benefits, and it would inspire me. Then I got this biography on Cleopatra, which I used to own, never got to. Then I heard Doris talking about it, and I was just like, yeah, I used to own that, like probably should have gotten to reading it. And then the first like book that we read with the 6th graders was about Cleopatra, and I'm like, how cool would it be for next year for me to have all this extra insight that I could add to the conversation, because I would have read like an adult book about her and maybe known more. So there's that. Then I got The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, and also I got the graphic novel version. And then I already told you that I got Kindred, but this is the graphic novel version of Kindred as well. And then finally, When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit, which Sarah from Your True Shelf raved about. So, yep, that's my quick haul. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Bye.